good here, right? Yeah, I got the clicker. Where is Idris? The charger. شوف لا اسم my coat حبيبي. Where's it at? Yeah, I just need to charge. I just need to charge my phone. Make sure you cut on. Hold on. Yeah, put it on. Leave it. Tell you. Everybody ready? Inshallah. Camera's rolling. Plug it up, Nafis. Got it. What's going on? Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu wassalam ala rasulillahi amma ba'd. This is our last chapter that we're going to take for tonight from the book. And it says, chapter 11, settling scores among all creatures. Settling scores among all creatures. I.e., you would write in your book or in your notes, i.e., from the spectacles of the last day. I.e., from the spectacles of the day of resurrection. From the things that Muslims believe in. I.e., from Aqidah Islamiyah. Regarding reckoning and requital is this. That's why this is here. Because this is one of the crazy things that's going to take place on that day. And the author, he doesn't mention among humans, among people, among Muslims. He says among what? All creatures. As the Prophet ﷺ says, that you would give the huquq. You would give the people what they deserve. And if you don't, then the horned ram or the horned goat will have to take account and stand responsible against the hornless ram or the hornless goat. I.e., one ram, one lamb gored the other, butted the other. He has horns and he doesn't. On the day of judgment, the one that got poked or hit with the horns is going to what? Get his rights from the one who did it to him. That's an animal. Let alone a human being whom you abused, slandered, stole money from, destroyed and ruined somebody's life. You ruined this person's life when you raped them, when you sexually abused them, when you beat him up, when you destroyed all of his honor and reputation. You destroyed her whole life. When you married her and discarded her, divorced her, and did whatever you did. You ruined everything. What do you think is going to take place on Yom Kippur? That's between two animals, two sheep, two goats. It's a human, a believer, a Muslim whose life you destroyed. So this goes to show us that oftentimes we're not even thinking about Yom Kippur at all. It doesn't even come to our thought. Period. It doesn't come to our minds. We're not even thinking about it. It's not on our minds at all. Because there's no way for you to be a believer and to believe in it and to do the atrocities that you do over and over and over again and not have no shyness, not to care at all. To ruin someone's life. To take someone's life unjustly, illegally, illegitimately. And the Prophet ﷺ says that the ram or the goat or the sheep with the horns is going to be taken into account for what it did to the animal that didn't have horns. Right? Understand? That's serious. So all creatures, he says, they're going to settle all scores. So this is very important for us to be mindful of. Another very important point for us to be mindful of is what? Is don't get bent out of shape all of the time. Because the day is going to come in which all scores are going to be settled. So I'm not upset. Go ahead. Say what you want. Tayyib, tafadhal. As a matter of fact, you're right. What you're saying about me is right. No problem. But I know that a time is going to come, a day is going to come in which the score between me and you is going to be settled. And Allah is going to be the judge between me and you. Who's right and who's wrong? We'll find out soon. So these are very important benefits of belief in this. And once more, as we said before, your aqidah is supposed to have an immediate impact on your day-to-day behavior, your day-to-day character. An immediate impact, not a slight impact. It's supposed to change you. I could take your money if I wanted to. It may be fun. But I know, now I'm talking about you. You. Yeah, Anta, that's right. Everyone understand this? I could. It may be fun. You may have a lot of money. But I know that a day is going to come in which what? I'm going to have to, no question. And the score is going to be what? Settled between us. I would never take your money. I don't think I could if I wanted to. You probably would take my money. Tell you? So this is something to be mindful of, huh? All scores are going to be what? Settled on that day. That's for sure. We may not agree in this world. I may get away with it in this world. I may have the upper hand in this world. I can bribe someone. I can pay someone off, but not on that day. My father's going to get me out of trouble. I'm not going to get locked up because I'm a man, not a woman. I'm going to get off because I'm of this race and not of that race. This may happen in the dunya. I have a really good lawyer. You have a really bad lawyer. My lawyer is so good that he's going to make me look innocent. And he's going to literally, what did the poet say, Samuel? What? Eat the case, right? A hungry lawyer, that'll what? Eat the case. He did say this. There are lawyers that are that good. And then there are lawyers that are what? That poor. And which the person who's innocent or the one who deserves it doesn't get what he deserves because he's a poor lawyer. But not on that day. There's not going to be no lawyers. It's not going to be any judges. It's not going to be any bribes. It's not going to be any law firms on that day. All scores will be settled. So the common sense thing to do is to get your act together right now while you got the chance. Fix it right now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Here's your money back. Take my money. I didn't mean that. Instead of me talking about you, I'm going to praise you. That's not true. That you're calling people to bid'ah, Sammy. That's not true. You know it's not true. What bid'ah am I calling the people to? If we're not calling to Kitab and Sunnah, what is? What is Sahih Bukhari? Sahih Muslim? What is that? What are we calling the people to? What are we inviting them to? What bid'ah are we falling into? Straight up. You know that's a lie. So get it together now. And instead of just praising someone, say, Alhamdulillah, Brother Fulan is doing the classes that he's doing. And he's answering the questions that I can't or don't want to answer. Alhamdulillah. Instead of, oh, he's not a scholar. He's not a mufti. He's a fake scholar. He's this and he's that. He shouldn't be answering his questions. The ulama won't answer the questions that he answers and so on and so forth. You should be happy that somebody's trying to strive and do something positive. Praise a person instead of dispraising them. Because deep down inside you know that they deserve that respect. But if you don't, that's fine. But on that day, the scores will be settled. Who's really a deviant and who isn't? Who's really following the sunnah and who isn't? Who's Salafi and who's not Salafi? We're going to know for sure on that day when those scores will be settled. So be mindful of what you say. Be mindful of your tongue. Be mindful of what you say about people. Be careful. Even if it is true, and it may be. Just be what? All we're saying is be what? A little what? A little careful. Pump the brakes. It's not going to hurt you to do what? To pump the brakes. You're going too fast. And most of the times, you don't even know what you're talking about. Most of the times, you're fanatically following someone who's fanatically following another person who knows you or heard you. You ask the average Muslim or the average student of knowledge today, why is Shaykh Fulan a deviant? Why is he misguided? Why is he min du'at abwab jahannam? Man ajabahu fiha qadhafu fihi. Lish, why? The average person can't even tell you. He doesn't know. Fulan said he's an innovator. That's why. That's the dalil. Badda'ahu Shaykh Fulan. Badda'ahu Shaykh Fulan. That's why. That's the dalil? That's the proof? What did he say? He said this about the Sahaba. Did he actually say that? Because this is the lecture, this is the book, this is the tape. At 36 minutes and 15 seconds, he never said that. Clearly, what are you talking about? He made a statement that's totally different than what you're saying. Or it was misconstrued or misinterpreted or whatever. The average person is following 2 or 3 other people. You don't even know why you're slandering another Muslim. You don't even know why you're just praising another Muslim. You have no clue, nor do you care. And that's why there's a thing called the hellfire for people who don't care. That's why there's a thing called Jahannam for people who are idiots, who are willing to risk their souls to fanatically follow someone else who's following someone else who's blind following someone else. If you're stupid enough to do that, that's why we have hell. And if you're smart enough to say, you know what, I'm not even getting involved. He may be wrong. He may be a deviant, but I don't want to risk my. I don't. It's not worth it. Let him deal with it. Let alone the fact that I don't think he is a deviant. These are his books. These are his classes. These are his students. Everything is public. Everything is in plain view. Where's the dalala which he's calling to? Prove it from the Kitab, Sunnah, and Ijma. Fadlan, please. So this is a very serious issue. And for people who are sinful, drunkards, prostitutes, womanizers, that's one thing. We're not talking about them right now. We're talking about people that are supposed to be pious and righteous. People that are supposed to be scholars and students of knowledge. People that are supposed to be on the deen and the sunnah. And them being ab'ad nas an tadabburi mithl hada. From them being from the furthest of people of thinking about on the day in which all what? Scores will be settled. You are a religious person. You're on the sunnah. You're a scholar. You're a student of knowledge. You're a graduate. You're supposed to be the first person to think about the day in which all scores are going to be settled. And you're not supposed to be the last person. And there lies no doubt. There's some people you sit, you listen to them talk. You may say, Allahu Alam, the last time this person thought about death. I don't know for sure, but only Allah knows. It doesn't seem like this person is actually thinking about death. How this person is talking recklessly about Islam and about Muslims and about people that are pious and righteous. Don't you realize you may be talking about a scholar or a student of knowledge, and he's this and he's that, and he's kalb and he's khabith and he's mubtada, dar, mudil, etc. And this person, he may have 1 million Muslims in the world praying for him at nighttime. Not him praying at nighttime, forget that. He's oppressed. But he may have people in 6 different time zones. Is this exaggeration, Simon? Who are at nighttime praying for him. Oh Allah, protect him. Oh Allah, rid him of his enemies. He changed my life. He gave me a fatwa. He answered my question. He helped me out. I now make salat. I now wear hijab. He did this for me. Oh Allah, protect him. Can you stand up in front of him? And do you want to roll the dice with someone like that? Do you really want to roll the dice? Is this smart? He may be an innovator. He may be a deviant. But we have clear-cut proof that he has done a lot for Muslims. A lot over the years. Just think about that. All the people that are making dua for him. Just think about that. Be mindful of that. And any other example that we've explained to you as well. With regards to how you treat your wife. Be mindful of that. Be mindful of how you treat your husband. Be mindful of how you treat your children. Be mindful of what you do to people. Be mindful of someone you're oppressing. And on that day, you think that you have a mountain of good deeds and you have nothing but fire. Be careful. Be mindful of that. And if we're not taking this critical approach, then perhaps we're just wasting our time by talking about it. Perhaps, I said. In which it has no effect on our daily character. In which we keep doing the same things. We keep oppressing people. We keep wronging people. We keep acting irresponsibly, reckless. What's the purpose of believing that there's a day in which all scores will be settled? So we have to be conscious. The author, he says, on the day of resurrection, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the just, Allah the just, will score between the oppressed and his oppressor, so that there will be no outstanding wrongs among people. Scores will be settled even among the animals. If 2 sheep butted heads, I'm not making this up, right? And bringing this from my own purse. If 2 sheep butted heads, and one had no horns, and the other did, the score will be settled between them. You understand this? As I just said, Ashatul Qarna min Ashatul Jalha. You understand this? All creatures' rights will be restored to them on the day of resurrection to such an extent that the hornless sheep will settle its scores with the horned sheep. If a person committed aggression against another by hitting him, the score will be settled on the day of resurrection by the victim hitting his attacker. A'udhu. What do you think that hit is going to be like? You think it's going to be a merciful hit? You think he's just going to take the hit back? That's it? The slanderer, you think he's just going to, these are the good deeds. He's only going to take one good deed off the shelf? What did Hassan al-Basri rahimahullah say? It was a story once that Hassan al-Basri, the great tabi'i, al-Imam al-Jalil, one day he gave a man a gift. And the gift was a box of dates. A box of fresh dates. So when the man got the dates, he said, who gave it to me? And they said, it's Hassan al-Basri. Hassan gave it to you. Oh, mashallah. So when he saw Hassan al-Basri, he asked him, why did you give me this box of dates? Why did you give me, this fresh fruit? He says, بَلَغَنِي أَنَّكَ تَغْتَابُنِي. He says, I've heard that you're backbiting me. And that you're talking about me. And he says, I wanted to reward you for you handing me over your good deeds. And I'm sorry, the only thing that I could give at the time was a box of dates. He says, I would have given you more. But this is the best thing that I had at the time. And there's another version of this story in which Hassan al-Basri, it was said to him, Inna fulanan yaqa fik. Fulan is talking about you and slandering you. Hassan al-Basri says, tell him, وَمَنْ أَنْتَ حَتَّى أُحَكِّمَكَ فِي حَسَنَاتِي. He says, who are you? Who do you think you are for me to give you the key to my closet of good deeds? In other words, this is my closet. This is all my money. This is my coffer. Take the key. Take whatever you want. That's Hassan al-Basri's attitude of the slanderer. Is that when you slander someone, you're handing them their what? Their good deeds. And giving them the ability, I'll take this, and I'll take this, and I'll take that, I'll take this, and then you can have the rest. Like people do in the dunya, right? When you take somebody's property, I'm definitely taking this. That's mine for sure. You can keep the rest. You want to do that on Yawm al-Qiyamah? On a day in which your brother has no value, your mother, your wife, your children are of no value to you. You think they're going to be generous with your good deeds? What do you think, Munir? You think he's going to just be, I only win a little bit? So we have to be mindful of all of these things. And this is the fruit of having the correct aqidah. This is the faida of having an aqidah sahihah. And obviously, if you have these evil, wicked, nasty deeds, then it also reflects upon your aqidah and your iman and your tawheed. And this is why one of the most widespread innovations among the Muslims is bid'atul irja. Bid'atul irja is the bid'ah of the murji'ah. And whenever there's irja, there's going to be all types of spiritual sloppiness. Whenever there's a murji in the murji'ah and people spreading it, there's going to be all types of sins and acts of disobedience. And oftentimes they're going to be done by people that claim to be on the sunnah and following the salaf. Moving forward. The author, he mentions about debts, about money. He mentions the proof and evidence for this. The enormity of bloodshed. Spilling the blood of a Muslim. Spilling the blood of any human being unjustly. The enormity. This is not a small thing. He talks about the settling of scores among the animals, as we previously mentioned. The beast. When the believers settle scores among themselves. The believers settle the scores among themselves, right? You can't go to paradise if you have something in your heart against your brother. You can't go to paradise if you're still jealous against your brother. You pray, you fast, you make hajj, you have a thobe, you have a beard, you give zakah, you give sadaqah, you seek ilm, you have the correct aqidah, but deep down inside you envy your brother. Deep down inside you envy him. Deep down inside you look down upon your brother. You consider your brother to be disgusting. The way he looks, the way, I just can't take him. You scorn him. You scorn your brother deep down inside. You envy him deep down inside. You're really not that happy for your sister getting married before you. You scorn her. You're jealous against her. You have a problem with the way that she looks and the way that you look. Deep down inside. Even though you do all of the other religious obligations, you can't enter paradise. And that's because paradise is a place of absolute, unadulterated purity. There can't be any negativity in Jannah. Nothing. Now, I can invite you to my house. I have a palace. I have a castle. And I have the finest of cooks, the finest of chefs. I have the finest of drinks. I have the most exquisite marble floors, crystal chandeliers. I have the best that money can buy. State of the art. And everyone's all in one banquet. What more could you want, right? But as I speak and as I'm drinking the champagne, this person is trying to usurp my business. And he still has a grudge against me because I didn't give him this money. And my son is plotting my assassination. And there's a woman that's married to my wife, but but she's having an affair with another man. She sleeps around. She hates me. She's only with me because of my money. All of these negativities can be found in a place of utter luxury. Are we understanding the picture I'm trying to make here? The marble that you're standing on is the best marble in the world. It doesn't get better than that. It's not finer than that. But it doesn't mean that the people's hearts are what? Are pure. In actuality, what good is the $1,000 champagne? What good is it if you're scheming and conniving against me? And I have to go to sleep with one eye open. And I'm with a woman, I'm going to die, and I'm going to give her inheritance, and she hates me, and she's been sleeping with another man for 30 years. What good is the money? Jannah is not like that. There's the physical pleasure, and there's also the purity of the heart. So if you have something in your heart against your brother, no matter what it may be, you cannot go to Jannah until it's purified. And the proof for that is mentioned here and mentioned in other places. What did we say yesterday about the khantara? وَنَزَعْنَا مِنْ غِلٍّ مَنْ نَتِيجَةً مَا الثَّمَرَةِ Yallah. إِخْوَانًا. Look at the balagha of the Quran. Allah says, وَنَزَعْنَا في الماضي بمعنى المستقبل. Allah says, the literal translation, we have removed. But the meaning is, we will remove. ما في صدورهم. Anything which is in their hearts, من غل. انتبه للأسلوب العربي. من غل. Any malice, a little bit. I don't hate my brother, but I do, feel a little bit against, just a bit. No, none of it can be in your heart in Jannah. And what's the fruit of that, Idris? Allah says what? فَكَانُوا أَوْ فَسَيَكُونُونَ إِخْوَانًا عَلَى سُرُرٍ. They will be brothers on thrones looking at each other. Allahu Akbar. No jealousy, no envy. You got it, I got it. Alhamdulillah. إِخْوَانًا. And that's the true meaning of being a brother. And if you have jealousy against your brother or your sister, then you have two faces. If you're not fighting it. Oh Allah, remove it from my heart. I love brother Idris. Wallahi. But I'm jealous against him. I am. I love brother Fulan. But it is there. You ask Allah to do what? To remove it. You fight it. You don't allow it to come out. You make mujahada. As we mentioned about it. We made the sharh of this in detail, right? The hadith of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud. So therefore you cannot go to Jannah even if you're righteous and pious if you have those negative things in your heart. So just be mindful of that, guys. The evil of hasad and the evil of rancor and malice against your brother. Why hate your brother? Be happy for your brother. I'm happy that you did it better than me. Wallahi I am. I'm happy that one of us made it. I'm happy that you did it. Alhamdulillah, because it got to get done, right? It got to what? It got to get done. And not, if I ain't, then what? Hey, get out of here. He's corny. He's corny. Nah. He's fake. He's this and he's that. What type of attitude is this of a Muslim who believes in the last day to harbor these feelings against another Muslim who's righteous and who's calling to the Sunnah? So we have to be mindful of the tricks and the traps of the shaitan. Chapter 12, the balance. That's the end of our session. Jazakumullahu khairan. But at least, brothers and sisters, do not just take these quick lessons. Go back to the book. Go back to the recordings, read the book from cover to cover, make a summary of the book, review your notes, rewrite your notes, and make a summary of your notes. And have study circles. If I asked you guys the questions, what did we study last year in Ottawa? How many of you could raise your hands and give me accurate answers? And if I said, if you don't memorize it and review it, I'm not coming back next year. I have no need to come here. There are other countries and places of people who demand for me to go. And I have a family, and I have children, I have this and that. Why should I come here and it's freezing cold? If you're not reviewing the lessons, then that mean you may not what? Respect those lessons. Why am I wasting my time coming here? Why? I go to other countries and other places. So the true student of knowledge makes review. And he summarizes, and he condenses, and he builds upon the previous conferences. So don't allow the conference to come and go without doing anything tangible, huh? And Allah knows best.